Okay. Right. Good evening, everybody. Extremely sorry for the inconvenience caused yesterday. I had a big problem with my laptop. Right. Today we are going to discuss bidding documents for information systems. Right. Straight away we go to the presentation because right. Supply installation of information system, you all know. We need, in addition to normal goods, works and non-consulting service, information system is one of the goods. Basically, we identify as goods, even though there are some consultancy involved. So in our new guidelines, we have allocated a separate chapter for information systems. Under information systems, we need large information communication technology, ICT, and systems. IS contracts are more challenging to procure because that is it is no problem if you can purchase straight away from vendors ICT, but in most cases we'll have to develop information systems. So how we can develop systems using consultants, and in addition to procure ICT equipment. So in this presentation, we discuss both aspects, and we discuss the relevant bidding documents. Their technical content is diverse and difficult to define because not like our normal goods, information system is diverse and difficult. You understand if you need the system, we are difficult to define that. Information systems are highly affected by changing business objectives, organizational politics, and institutional capacity of end users. The IS are subject to rapid technological change. That is another important thing. Even though we develop, it is part and parcel of the upgrading the systems, since these are rapidly changing. So through the project life cycle, we'll have to develop. So that is also one of the specification in the ICT IS system. Entail mixers of professional engineering services and supply of diverse hard and software. That's what I said. So that is IS system is a mixture of professional engineering services in the sense of to develop ICT systems, information systems, as well as the supply of hard and software technologies. Specialized, I would like to use like this way. So specialized SBD became necessary to facilitate IT procurement. So as we all discussed so far, none of the bidding document discuss explicitly about the IS system. So therefore, we'll have to use a separate bidding documents. Unfortunately, still we don't have a local ICT document. Then, as usual, we use World Bank standard ICT document. But anyway, NPC has earmarked to develop another document similar to missing other standard documents as we discussed earlier. IT standards bidding documents or procurement document we use provide bidding and contracting models that facilitate successful installation. So contracting models, various models we can discuss, successful installation, integration, and operation of a range of information technology application from straight forward supply and maintenance of technical product to complex development, integration, and operation of mission critical information system. So the second type of thing is more difficult. Since we also don't know. That is the problem. So even though we need our system, we don't know exactly the employer's requirement, right? So it is sometimes we need consultants to develop that requirement because we have no technical expertise to develop. Supply installation of information system. Two key features distinguish supply installation from goods procurement, right? So as I said, this is different, but it categorized under goods anyway. Supplier increase risk and complex service requirements, right? So supplier or the provider has more risk, and we inform them to follow various complex service requirements. From the purchaser side, increasing significantly the complexity and risk of procurement and require different evaluation and contracting system. So as you know, bidding document discusses how we evaluate and how we implement the contract. That's what we were learning through all the documents under contract data and special conditions or contract data. Those are inbuilt in the system document. Supply and installation system, another point, supplier assumes responsibilities for the supplier assumes designs, supply and installation. So based on our requirements, they have to design the system, they have to supply, installation and commissioning also. Even though we have not explicitly mentioned the commissioning, that supplier should install and commission of a facility mainly in terms of performance specifications. So we have spelled out what are our specifications in the specifications, performance aspect. Supplier's responsibility goes beyond the supply and extend to the provision of any other product or services required to make the facility perform to specification. That is supplier's responsibility. So it requires a degree of professional judgment. As you know, as I said, it has some technical consultancy inputs, right? Because there are different things. Sometimes we can straight away purchase. Those are developed like window, for example. Window we can purchase from the original manufacturer, right? License manufacturer. But if you want to develop a system, there is no way. So you have to use suppliers and give your requirement. Then they use some equipment, sometimes standard software also, and develop based on your requirement. The expertise from suppliers that is commensurate with the higher degree of risk they are called to assume. So they should take the responsibility from the supplier. Frequently results in large and complex service components for this type of procurement. We mentioned that earlier also. Three approaches. Under this system, there are three approaches. Number one, procurement as equipment. Number two, single stage IT process. Number three, two stage. These are the three systems we follow to provide information systems. Number one, procurement as equipment. Example, standalone computers, non-complex telephone system. There are various examples, right? In various systems. So under this, we can cover goods are supplied to comply with the standard specification provided by the sub-purchaser. This is not much different from normal goods. But we provide the specification straight away. We know what we want. No or less design responsibility with supply, because since we identify our requirement in the specification, supply has less responsibility about the design risk. Very little customization is involved, as I mentioned. So if you use words, for example, we supply nothing to customize. It is always already there, so that we can straight away purchase and use. Maintenance and or after sales service may be required, but that is okay. So the supplier should maintain. Then we will have to sign a maintenance agreement as well for a period, and after sales service as we do for another goods also, right? So that is straight away procurement. Second type, single stage IT process. It is single stage. You all know what is single stage means. It has two envelopes, single envelope or two envelope, but still one stage, not going to second stage. Example, procurement of a large wide area computing network with a variety of office support and application services. Extensive operational acceptance testing requirements and centralized network management. All are examples, right? So it has some degree of consultancy or development, because we cannot purchase straight away from the vendors. Those are not ready-made, right? When bidding is based on technical product or service specifications, right? When design responsibly with purchaser. So based to meet our requirements, supplier should design. Even when functional or performance specifications are developed by the purchaser, single stage procurement is advisable if the specifications are likely to be met only by established products in the market. So it is advised you follow single stage procurement when specifications are likely to be met. I mean, by the available products. That means that is not much customization by the supplier, but they have to do some integration, some activity, but nothing much to develop by the supplier. Those are available, right? So that is single stage. But two stage is completely different. For relatively complex systems, when single stage bidding process is inadequate and risky, when the necessary detail in the technological requirement and or contractual arrangements can unduly constrain the implementation approaches. So if you give technical details or technical requirement or contractual arrangement, that constrain the implementation, because it may or may not fit to the required solution. Therefore, we should not give basically the or fully dependent on employer's requirement. Cannot be done, because it cannot be the solution to the problem. Permits to maintain the openness of the spectrum of technological solutions and implementation approaches. Permit to maintain the operations of openness of spectrum of technological solutions and implementation approaches. So this system permit that. Reduces the scope of losing potentially interesting proposals, right? Reduces that. So we are allowing consultants or suppliers to develop their own solution, right? And leads to comparable bids in a structured and transparent manner. So, I mean, you can understand what I'm saying. So if it is too complex, for example, now the NPC also requested a monitoring system, procurement monitoring system. It is a complex system. We generally say these are our requirements, but we cannot specify the requirements correctly because our knowledge about the IT-based monitoring or interactive web-based monitoring system is limited. So therefore, we generally say these are our requirement. Then the consultants will understand our requirement and submit a proposal. Then, as you all know, in the two-stage, in the technical proposal, we discuss and we give our comments, and the supplier then develop based on our requirement and again present. Then, if we agree, so then the bidding process can start, right? So that first stage is that. IS that may best be procured by two-stage bidding process. The last system I discussed, complex business applications. For example, an integrated commercial banking system. So you just imagine our banking system, commercial banking, how they integrate with other banks, international banks, and all other branches, their bank and other branch. So that is a complex system, right? That is another example for information systems, supply installation of information system. Treasury management system, that's another example. Or revenue management system, what we were trying for last 8-10 years, still we couldn't do, right? There are a lot of reasons behind that. The systems require, another example is EGP system, electronic government procurement system. Still we are doing, and that is also two-stage complex system. A system requires extensive software development. So we cannot straight away purchase software. So based on our requirement, they have to develop, right? The supplier. Complex information technologies, example, large-scale data processing equipment, system including highly specialized equipment such as graphics workstations, plotters, photographic equipment such as for advanced, what is this? Card, I don't know what it is. Stress or something, I don't know what is that word. A system requiring large-scale, high-speed telecommunication, various things are required. System involving extensive technology services for design, development, customization, installation, training, operation, and technical support. So those are part and parcel of a complex system, a combination of the above. So as we discussed, that may be a combination. Purchasers business functional requirement from the basis of bidding document rather than detailed technical. That is very important, right? So we cannot give detailed technical specification. So we have no technical, but we give functional or business or say generally functional requirements. In the bidding document, what we give is this, right? Basic for bidding document, right? It is the responsibility of the supplier to understand our requirement and develop the technical solutions, right? Okay, as you all learn, bidding process for two-stage, technical proposal submitted by the supplier, then deadline is there, and we open technical proposal and we evaluate the technical proposal and we get clarifications, right, from the supplier, right? Based on this first stage, we get a revised technical proposal, as you all know, and financial proposal also. So there are two methods we use here. We have mentioned only two-stage only, but two-stage, two envelope also we discussed. In the here also we take a financial proposal, a rough financial proposal, but we never touch that. But based on discussions and improvements of all things, supplier provide two envelopes, revised technical and supplementary financial. Instead of first time this is giving the financial, but another system, our guideline also warranted, and ADB also warranted. World Bank has a different saying. Anyway, it has some advantages because if we all of that is my personal comment also, I gave that to my other members and the NPC, and they agreed and included something into the manual. So because if we are silent in the first stage about the financial, and we discuss and clarify and allow bidder to give the technical revise, then sometimes bidder will understand, okay, we are the potential successful supplier. They know how they can get from our signs or from our questions or from internal information or whatever. Then they can demand. They can give any price because we have no benchmark. Since we don't have any benchmark, the highest or qualified supplier can increase the price. So we have no way to negotiate the price because we have no benchmark or no initial estimate. For that reason, that's why we have given in our 2006 manual also, it is always advisable to get an initial financial proposal also, and let them to submit a supplementary financial proposal. For example, at the first stage, they say our cost is 50 million. With the technical proposal they submit. But based on our requirements and discussions, improvements, we need more solutions. It sometimes involved with more equipment and more consultancy inputs, whatever. Then they can increase the initial 50 million to 75 million, for example. The supplementary financial proposal is 75 million. Then they can spell out why we have deviated from our 50 million because of this. For this change, we need this type of equipment and this type of consultancy inputs. And this is how they can justify their cost increase, right? So that is always a better solution. However, in this system, without getting financial proposal first, technical revise and financial, and as we always do, we evaluate the technical proposal and financial proposal in the second stage, and we award the contract to the successful supplier. Okay, bidding process 2 stage, we can explain the same thing. Purchasers solicit non-price, that is what I said, non-price technical proposal to address the business functional requirements, right? Direct and structured dialogue with the supplier. Then purchaser arrives with the bidder at a clear and documented understanding of those aspects of bidder's bid that, number one, fulfill the purchaser's requirement. Number two, do not conform to the requirements. And number C, are missing. What are the missing things? All things we can identify after opening the technical proposal in the first stage. Based on the bidder's specific documented understanding after the first stage bidding, and additionally based on possible amendment to the bidding document, and we can amend the bidding document also. For after first discussions, perhaps we have to change or amend the bidding document also to suit for the second stage bidding. And additionally, based on possible amendment to the bidding document, each bidder that offered a sufficiently responsive first stage bid is requested by the purchaser to submit the second stage. So some bidders we disqualify because their technical proposal is unacceptable. So we identify a couple of few potential suppliers, and we allow them to submit their revised technical proposal, um, improved technical proposals with the financial proposal in the second stage.
Sir,
Technical
excuse me.
proposal and corresponding
Sir,
financial proposal, a complete final and price bid. The second stage bids are then handled and evaluated in essentially the same manner as a single stage bid, right? We all know that, we have learned that, how we handle that. Save the purchaser's time in informally translating its business functional requirement into non-restrictive technical requirement. So two-stage bidding is advantageous because we can save our time. We are not giving any technical dimensions or much detailed technical requirements, and let bidder to develop. However, save the time somehow somewhat offset by the additional time required to conduct two-stage bidding. That is also understand. You can understand, even though we can save time, when we follow two-stage, additional time is needed, right? Second bidding stage merely constitute the updating and refinement of first stage bids and their pricing. You all know that. Okay. This two-stage bidding process flow chart is given. So what are the bidding document issued by the purchaser? Instruction to bidders, bid data sheet, eligibility for the provision of goods, works, and services. As you know, the bank is for World Bank. General conditions, special condition, technical requirements, sample forms, right? We give some technical requirements, but not like normal goods. So bidding document issued by the purchaser, first stage, instruction to bidders, something like that. So in the first stage bid submitted by the bidder, what are the document they submit? Bid form, first stage. Based on this document, authorization to sign joint venture documents, attachment, bidders eligibility, bidders qualification, including manufacturer's authorization, and eligibility of goods and services, conformity of the information system and technical bid and project plan, proposed subcontractors, intellectual property, deviation, alternative technical bids. So all documents are submitted by the bidders based on our first stage requirement. That is how bidder responds in the first stage. Second stage, what we do, clarifications phase and two-stage invitation. So we make various clarifications and we invite for qualified people. Invitation for bids, second stage, right? Only for the technically responsive people. Bidder specific memorandum of changes, right? So based on our understanding, discussions, clarification, bidder gives a memorandum of changes, specific memorandum. Amendment to the bidding document, if any, if as I mentioned earlier also, at the first stage, perhaps we have to change the bidding document, and then bidder will submitted by the bidder, bid form, second stage, authorization to sign, all things are normally World Bank things, bid security, price schedules, various attachments. bidders' eligibility, bidders' qualification, including manufacturer authorizations, eligibility of goods and services, conformity of the information systems, including updated technical bids and updated preliminary project plan, proposed subcontractor, intellectual property, all things are submitted again by the bidder at the second stage. Right. Contract documents. What are the contract documents for two-stage? Notification of award, right? As we do after the evaluation, we can issue notification. Bid form, selected bidders bid form, price schedule, general condition of contract, special condition of contract, contract agreement and appendixes, all are part and partial, supply requirement, adjudicator, approved subcontractors, categories of software, custom materials, revised price schedules, if any, minutes of contract finalization, change order procedure and forms, all are part and part of the contract documents once we have selected the bidder. Update the technical bid, updated technical bids, any other document agreed as forming as a part of the contract. So those are based on World Bank document, right? So this is the World Bank document issued in 2020, right? Standard bidding documents, request for bids, RFB, RFB. Normally we have RFQ, this is request for bids. We have invitation for bid, IFB, invitation for bid. Here, since we use the RFP, that is called request for bid. Information systems, design, supply, and installation. One envelope, bidding procedure. That is one thing, one envelope. Straight away, that's number one. Can you remember? I said there are three types of IS system. Straight away we can purchase that, we can use one envelope, single envelope. But the second and third, here, the supplier installation of single stage bidding. Single stage, right? Two envelope. Technical and financial separately, right? Supplier installation, but no, this is all version 2003. The same thing, 2020 they have revised. This is the second one, 2003, supplier installation of investment system, two-stage bidding. So we are concentrating right. Invitation for bid in the two-stage. We'll look at what information we should give in the invitation. Reference to General Procurement Notice. Now you know what is the meaning of GPN. Advance Notice. In order for developers to respond to us, then at the beginning of or at the planning stage, we issue this basic requirements. Then all potential suppliers may respond to us. Okay, Mr. Purchaser, if you issue the SPN, specific procurement notice, tell us, then we are interested, something like that. So reference for funding agency, reference to funding agency, say the relevant department or project. Preamble to invitation, various preambles, various information. Method of procurement. What is the method? International or national competitive bidding, basically. Eligibility requirement. issue of document, the various information, receipt of documents, right? So under invitation for bid, what information we should give? The first stage will consist of a technical bids only. As I said, normal method, right? Without any reference to prices. Okay. But I said two systems, two method in our new guideline also. That means initial price also we take. But World Bank doesn't like that. I must tell that. They say what's the purpose of taking first stage initial price, something like that. But we have a rationale. We have given in our new manual also. It is advisable to get the price, as I mentioned. I mentioned the reason, but including a list of any deviation to the technical and commercial condition set forth in the bidding document. So technical bids, but we ask the list including any deviation and commercial conditions set forth in the bidding document, and no adding any alternative technical solution. And alternative solution also we can request from bidders. So thing is, we ask deviation, technical and commercial deviation, because as I said, we are not sure what we want. Exactly what we want is unclear to us. So there will be many deviations, right? We open bidders to give their suggestions and justification provided for such deviations. Alternative solution: do not change essential requirements specified in the do not change the essential requirement. Our requirement should be met anyway. They cannot change our requirement, but they can propose various technical departures, technical deviations, or commercial conditions, or whatever, to meet our requirement. You all can understand that, right? Following the evaluation of first stage bid, the bidders that adequately meet the minimum acceptable qualification, adequately meet minimum acceptable qualification criteria. I said some bidders will not allow to submit a second stage bid because they are not fulfilling the minimum qualification criteria and has submitted a sufficiently technically responsive bid. That is the word, right? Our evaluation committee panel, technical committee or bid evaluation committee should look at whether proposal is sufficiently or technically responsive, sufficiently technically responsive. Sufficiently word is also important. May be invited to attend clarifications. So we call clarification meeting only for those who given sufficient technical responsive bids. Any required bid specific changes, additions, deletions, and other adjustment will be noted and recorded or will be promulgated via an addendum. So as we normally know, we issue an addendum to the bidding document after the first stage evaluation or clarification after everything. So we agreed upon, okay, these are the changes to the documents and technical part. Bidders may not be invited to submit second stage bid if their first stage bid contained unacceptable departures, and in making bids fully responsive in remaining time for two-stage process cannot reasonably be expected, right? So we exclude them. All other suitably qualified and eligible bidders, however, shall receive invitation. So they receive invitation to submit second stage bids. So you understand, after first stage, we select part of the bidders and invite them to submit their bids. The second stage bid will consist of the updated technical bid. Updated technical bid. Incorporating all changes required as recorded in the bidder specific memorandum. As I mentioned, bidder specific memorandum. And or as necessary to reflect any addenda or addenda we issue no? In addition this to the bidding document issued subsequent to the first stage bidding and the commercial bid, that price, right? And bid security shall be submitted with the second bid. Since we are not taking first stage price, at this stage only we take security. Okay, bid security taking at only the second stage. No point of taking security if you are not getting price at the first stage. Okay, clear? Now, as we know, what are the information contains in the ITB and bid data sheet, right? Instruction to bidders, eligibility, World Bank funded projects, they have their eligibility criteria, bidders and goods, what are the thing? Both shall be from member countries, World Bank, don't worry. Qualification of the bidders is given in the instruction. So what are the manufacturer's authorization, agent with the country, those are, well, this should go like this one. Like this. Okay. Bidder, whether as a single bidder or as a partner in a joint venture, cannot be a subcontractor in other bids. So that is a requirement. Bidder or a single bidder as a bidder or as a partner, they can submit bids, but they cannot submit or as a subcontractor in other bids, right? It is a restriction, except for supply of commercially available hardware or software manufactured or produced by the firm. So they can be a subcontractors, right? Which they give under this contract, commercially available hardware or software, there may be subcontractors, but they are not main partners of to submit the proposal, as well as purely incidental services such as installation, configuration, routing, training of OLA may be subcontractors. Okay, so these are the contents of bidding documents. I think this should come first. That is more rational, right? So instruction to bidders, bid data sheet, eligibility, general condition. We all know this. Technical requirement, including implementation schedule, right? Then only we can discuss instruction to bidders and everything under that. The invitation for bid first stage that is given in ITB is not formally part of the bidding documents and is included for reference only. Is not formally part of bidding document. Invitation, yeah, we know that invitation for bid is not part of the bidding document. It is an supplementary annexure. In case of inconsistencies, the actual bidding document shall prevail, right? If any inconsistency in the invitation, bidding document will govern. The invitation for bid second stage as completed by the purchaser and submitted to the bidders invited for second stage does form part of bidding document. This this invitation is part of bidding document. But no, first invitation is not the part of bidding document. So that does form part of the bidding document. So we can say does form part of bidding document. What is that? The invitation for bid. Second stage is part of the bidding document. Pertaining to dates, addresses, and producers, procedures for the submission of second stage bid specified there. Clarification of bidding document and pre-bid meeting. Pre-bid meeting will be held only before the first stage submission. Okay, that is you have note. Pre-bid meeting will be held only before first stage submission. A normal pre-bid meeting after advertisement. During the second stage of bidding, copies of the purchaser's response will be sent to all bidders. During the second stage bidding, copies of purchaser's response, clarifications, responses, sent to the all bidders invited to submit second stage, invited to second stage bidding, bid as far as question relate to the common materials of the bidding document. So if it is not common, we are not divulge that information to other bidders. If it is common, yes, we can disclose to all bidders after the second stage clarifications and all. While a response applying to the bidder specific changes required pursuant to the first stage evaluation will be communicated to the relevant bidders only. Yeah, you see that. With the response applying to the bidder specific changes required pursuant to the first stage evaluation will be communicated. First, that is only. Those are the bidder specific things we are not communicating to all bidders because those are their commercial information, right? We should not disclose to other bidders, otherwise they get an undue advantage or that is against the intellectual property rights, right? Documents comprising first stage bid. Number one, first stage bid form. I think I gave a summary earlier. First stage bid form is one document. Duly completed and signed by the person or person duly authorized to bind to the bidder. Okay. Written confirm authorizing the signatory of the bid to commit the bidder. You all know in our new guideline we have very clearly mentioned who can sign the bid and authorization under different commercial organizations. What are the attachment in addition to this form of bid? Attachment, bidders eligibility. Bidder is legally incorporated territory of an eligible source of country, that is World Bank requirement. Attachment 2, bidder's qualification. Bidder is qualified to perform the contract if its bid is acceptable, right? In the case where pre-qualification of bidders are being undertaken, bidders shall provide evidence on any changes in the information submitted as the basis for pre-qualification, or if there has been no change at all in said information, a statement to this effect. So bidder's qualification is such. Any manufacturer authorization, because if the supply involved in equipment that is provided by subcontractors, then manufacturer authorization should be submitted. Attachment 3, eligibility of goods and services. Document establishing the goods and services components of the invoice system to be supplied, installed, and performed by the bidder are eligible goods and services. Some goods and services are not eligible. That is the thing. I mean, the banks and other people are very highly concerned. If some materials are taken from ineligible country, they don't accept that goods are eligible goods, right? Even though those are produced in an eligible country, but materials are imported from ineligible country. Those are the World Bank specific thing. Don't worry too much. If ordered the contract, the bidder shall submit for such components of the information system evidence of eligibility, which shall be confirmed by a certificate of origin issued by the time of shipment. That is regarding the eligibility of goods. That's confirmed certificate of origin. That means, that's why I said that should be a eligible country origin, right? Attachment 4, conformity of the information system to the bidding document. Documentary evidence establishing the goods and services component of the invoice system to be supplied, installed, and performed by the bidder confirms the bidding document. Right? Documentary evidence establishing the goods and service component of the invoice system to be supplied, installed, and performed. Right? Documentary evidence. Attachment 5, proposed subcontractors. A list of all major items of goods and services that the bidder proposes to purchase or subcontract from others, and the names and nationality of proposed subcontractors, including vendors for each of those items. I mean, this is important because in information system, we need various subcontractors. So supplier will provide their solution by purchasing others' goods sometimes. Attachment 6, intellectual property. A list of all software included bid assigning that each item a system, general purpose of application software, and standard and customized software. So intellectual property right of general software and standard and custom software. So that is they have to register their rights, right, under intellectual property. All custom material, including the bidder's bid, various materials. All material not identified as custom material shall be deemed standard materials. So, deviations, attachment 7. Bidders shall give details of all deviation in their first stage bid with respect to contractual terms and conditions contained in the general condition of contract and or the special condition of contract, including but not restricted to intellectual property rights, software licenses, liabilities, amount of performance security, governing law, etc., etc. Right? Those may be some deviation proposed by the bidder. To the required technical features, specifying the technical requirements. So we give some technical requirement that they would like to purchaser to consider during the evaluation of first stage bids and any clarification meeting with the bidder. Right? So the required technical features specified, all right, that they would like to purchaser to consider. During the evaluation of a stage bid and any clarification meeting with the bidder. again, deviation. Purchaser will consider such proposed deviations bidder-specific memorandum. That's what I mentioned earlier also. So those deviations are bidder-specific memorandum of title changes required pursuant to first stage evaluation. Because how bidder will look at our requirements and including clarification, sorted and discuss. And bidder identified the technical deviations, right? Because that is their technical proposal, right? Shall indicate the bidder's deviation that are not acceptable to purchaser and which bidder must withdraw in its second stage. Shall indicate the bidder's deviation that are not acceptable. I mean, some are not acceptable to purchaser and bidder must withdraw. Right? That statement is also there. Because some proposals, some suggestions, though bidder suggests, we say no, we don't agree. In such a situation, it is a statement given by the bidder. He will withdraw that in the second list. Failure to do so would constitute a ground for rejection. That is ground for rejection. Otherwise. So ultimately, what bidder should do is what the purchaser needs. That is okay to propose new things, deviations, etc., as a memorandum. But those amendments, deviation are not acceptable, proposed by the bidder, should be removed, and there should an agreement mentioned that will be removed from the second stage bidding. Otherwise, that bid will become a technically non-responsive. I think you understand what I'm saying. You all are following. Hello. It is understandable.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Deviation that are acceptable to the purchaser shall be incorporated into bidding document in the form of addendum as we discussed earlier. All acceptable changes. There are two type of things, bidder specific things and common things. Addendum to the distributor together with invitation for bid. Second stage bidder invited to submit a second stage bidding. But we mentioned earlier some are supply specific, not disclosed to other bidders, because that harm the intellectual property rights or commercial information of some bidders. Those are not desirable. Alternative bids, bidder can suggest. In this situation, we normally invite bidders to submit alternative bids. Normally, in our document, in our guideline, we say how we treat alternative bids, because in this type of things, we can recommend to request alternative proposals because our technical requirement. For example, I'm not an IT guy. I don't know much about that, but I just say now we use monitoring system even in NPC, for example, using traditional using computers, various hardware. But how about the new development of what you call AI technology, artificial intelligence? All right. So I have no idea about that, but maybe within participants you have some idea. So bidders can propose completely a new alternative proposal to do our monitoring system, for example. Right? Anybody can comment on this, please? How we can use AI technology for monitoring? Any idea? I would like to get your views. Anybody is familiar with AI technology? Nobody? Okay. Bidders wishing to offer alternative technical proposals shall provide all information necessary for a complete evaluation. So as we discussed earlier also, alternative proposal is a completely new proposal. So complete evaluation, bidder should provide all information, technical, financial, commercial, every information, of the proposed alternatives, because I will recall your memory. We consider alternatives under what situation? Tell me. How we take into account the alternative proposals during our evaluation?
When the original bid submitted.
Yeah, but whose alternative is considered?
Who is submitting the original bid, sir?
No. My question is, supposing there are bidders, we evaluate technical and various things, and combine evaluation, financial also. Then we get different prices, different marks. This technical, definitely we have to use marking system, as we discussed earlier in our evaluation. My question is, supposing we have 5 bidders evaluated and 3 alternative proposals are submitted by bidders. Whose alternatives are considered? That is my question.
Final selected one.
Exactly. That is the point. We should not consider alternatives of all other bidders other than the lowest evaluated technically responsive bidder. Right? So that is a policy, principle, not policy, principle. So that is given in our new manual also as a principle. So we cannot open the alternatives. You can only open the lowest bidder's alternative. Then what is the criteria we should follow? First, this alternative proposal should be technically acceptable, commercially acceptable. All the things we discussed so far, how we look at their technical solutions, technical proposals to our problem or our issue, then we can come to a conclusion. Okay, this is acceptable, technically okay, commercially okay. Then we look at their price also. Then whatever the combined evaluation or whatever, supposing the alternative suggestions has more merits, technical merits, but price is little bit higher than the original bid, what actions we can take? The alternative, say lowest bidders alternative is okay, seems to be very good, very attractive technically, but the problem is price is higher. What can we do?
Can we
We are working
negotiate?
with the value for money, sir. So the low, if it is more technically is more fitted, I think we have to go with the value for money options.
No. That is against our principle. That's why I want to remind you, even though that is technically attractive, if the price is higher than the original bid, we cannot accept the alternative proposal. We have to reject that. Okay? That is the principle. We can accept the alternative proposal if the technical part is okay, responsive and acceptable, but the price is lower than the original bid. Don't forget that. That is a principle. Okay? Agree?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Don't miss that. I mean, principle is principle. Always you must remember when you work in your office or when you evaluate, even for other procurement, not only IS work so good. So if you call alternatives, if you sometimes bidders by their own submit alternative proposal in without calling them. We have not called for, forget about influence system, say works or goods. We have not requested alternative, but bidder has given alternative. What action we can take?
Cannot be accepted.
Which one? Alternative or original?
Alternative one.
Only we should not consider alternative, but we should not reject the bid, original bid, right? We disregard the alternative only if you have not requested. If you have requested alternative, yes, as I mentioned here also, this is the common principle. Evaluate the alternative, technically look at that. If it is acceptable, okay. It is technically unacceptable, reject. That's all. Finish. Who? The lowest bidder. Don't worry about the other bidders alternative. You should never open other bidders alternative. That will be a big issue. Sometimes we open other bidders, we have experience, right? And come to know that bid price is less and more suitable and things like that. That is completely wrong. That's why I'm telling you, there are two situations, whether we have requested alternative. Yes, if you have requested, we can consider alternative. Whose alternative? Only the lowest bidders, not others. Okay, then open their financial, technically okay, yes. Then go to the next step. Price wise, it should be lower than the original. Otherwise, reject the alternative. We never ever open other bidders' alternative proposal. Please note down that. Because some organization, they make a lot of blunders, mistakes. Bidders are permitted to propose first stage bid. What is this document comprising the first stage? Bidders are permitted to propose at first stage bid technical alternative to components of their bids or entire alternative bids. In addition to or in lieu of base or main bid that meets the detailed requirement. There are two options. First stage, technical alternatives for components. Technical alternatives. That is a good thing. Technical alternatives for component, not the complete solution. Entire alternative. Now look at how we can treat, provided that they can document that the proposed alternative bids are to the benefit of the purchaser, fully fulfill the principal objective of the contract, and they meet the basic scope, functionality, and performance. Alternative may typically include innovative solutions, either complete solution or some component. Yeah, entire or some. Then you must consider all. According to this one, any alternative bid or alternative component provided by the bidder in the first stage may be the subject to a discussion during the clarification. Any alternative bid or components, both first stage, in the first stage, during clarification, must discuss. Detailed description of the technical solution conform to in all material aspect with the technical requirements. Documentation the computer information system, right? That is technical requirements. Item by item commentary on the purchaser's technical requirements, demonstrating the substantial responsiveness of the information system effort. So as we normally does, we do item by item. We see all items are complied with our requirements. Similarly, information system also the same when you consider technical requirements. Preliminary project plan. So that is preliminary project plan. Written confirmation that bidders accept responsibility for the successful integration and interoperability operability of all components of the information system as required by the bidding document. Bidders shall note that responses to brand names or model numbers or national law proprietary standard designed by purchaser in its technical area are intended to be descriptive and not restrictive. Right? So bidders shall note that reference to whatever the brand names or model numbers or national law proprietary standards designated by the purchaser, that means entity, in its technical requirement are intended to be descriptive but not restrictive. So you know that condition is met. That means we cannot give a brand name without giving any similar standard or similar specification, except where explicitly prohibited to the bidding documents for specific items or standards. The bidder may substitute alternative brand, model names, or standard in its bid, provided that the demonstrate to the purchaser's satisfaction that the use of substitutes will result in the information system being able to perform substantially equivalent or better than what? Better than that specified in the technical requirements, right? In the second stage bid, the bidders are expected to offer the same brand, models or subcontractors and other material provisions as proposed in the first stage. Yeah, this is also good. In the second stage bid, bidders are expected to offer the same brand name, whatever, as proposed in the first stage. They cannot deviate unless changes are explicitly permitted or required in the bidder specific. Yeah, that is a document bidder can submit. This is bidder specific changes required to required or are implied or triggered by addenda or in addenda issued in the second stage bidding, right? Bidders that deviate from the first stage bids without specific endorsement by the memorandum of or without a reason clearly established by addenda issued in the second stage bid place their bids risk, right? Right. Right. Format and signing of the first stage bid. Signing and submission of first stage bid shall not bind or obligate the bidder to submit a second stage bid. That is another thing. Signing and submission of first stage bid shall not bind or obligate bidder to submit a second stage. So bidder can, keep silent, no problem. Because we are not asking any bid security also, proposal securities. Opening of the first stage bid by the purchaser. The names, what are the things we get? Names of the bidders, submitted, who submitted it, and other such details such purchaser at his discretion may consider appropriate will be announced. Name of the bidder. The purchaser will promptly convey these minutes. They normally names of the bidder who submitted bids and other such details as the purchaser at its discretion may consider appropriate will be, because no price, no bid security, no bid form is signed, all are not relevant here. Only things bidders single stage, first two stage, no. So first stage, no price also involved. If we have used the two-stage two envelope, it's a different. We can say bidder has submitted two envelopes. The purchaser will promptly convey these minutes in writing. Then we can disclose that. Name of the bidder, ABC company, submitted the first stage technical proposal. That's enough, right? Purchaser will promptly convey these in writing. Okay, that is okay. Clarification. Okay, now we'll stop for a small break. How we can clarify in the first stage bidding and do the rest of the things. Okay, any unclear things up to now? These are the things we should follow when issuing bidding documents for information systems. Okay, so we understand something and we identify stage by stage what actions to be taken and something. Okay, we'll stop for a small break and Okay. Still, we are discussing the clarification of first stage bids and review of bidders' deviations. Review of bidders' deviation and alternative solutions. Still at that stage, purchaser may conduct a bidder-specific clarification meeting with the bidder to clarify aspect of bidder's first stage bidding. So that you must understand that is bidder by bidder, not commonly discussed, right? Required explanation no are not considered fully responsive by the purchaser. During this meeting, purchaser should bring to the attention of bidder any matter, technical or otherwise, purchaser require changes to be made to the bidder's first stage to make that bid conform to requirement of the bidding document that we discussed. Because those are not common, no? Common things we can identify after discussion of each bidder. Then common things we can issue as addenda. A specific thing, bidder specific thing only to specific bidder specific clarification. Conversely, in these meetings, bidder should bring to the purchaser's attention any change it would like to make in the second stage, such as replacement of certain brand of good, models, subcontractors, service, and others. Right? All are discussed at the discussion. Procurement system part 2. No, what is this? Delete that. So, no obligation upon the bidders to attend a clarification meeting. If the bidder is unable or decline to attend a clarification meeting, the purchaser will undertake a reasonable effort to achieve required clarification by correspondence with bidder or by other means such as telephone or video conferencing as may be. Because bidder specific thing. No? Any reduction in the second scope of obtaining complete clarification of first stage bid due to having to use these alternative method is a bidder's risk, right? It is not done properly. Each clarification meeting must attend by a person or person that through a written power of attorney is duly authorized to represent bidder in the discussion and to reach a formal agreement with the purchaser on the specific changes. Neither the bidder specific memorandum or any minute written of the clarification meeting or any correspondence exchange between the bidder and the purchaser during this will be shared with other bidder. Neither the bidder, nothing. That's what I said. Those are bidder specific things. Neither bidder specific manner nor any minutes written on the clarification, right? Or corresponding exchange between a specific bidder and the purchaser during the stage will be shared with. That is very important, right? What happened to this one? Bidders Bidder invited for the second stage all changes required by the purchaser in bidder's second stage bid compared its first stage bid will be listed in the bidder specific memorandum entitled right pursuant to regulations as part of the Indian. We discussed that earlier also. I don't know what it is. Changes applicable for all bidders invited to the second bidding stage will be reflected in an addendum. There is a repetition. Document comprising second stage bid, second stage bid form, all price schedules, bid security, written confirmation, attachment, right? We discussed that earlier also, but it comes here again. Here also, all the attachment, I think we discussed that earlier. Bidder shall not include new contractual or technical deviation for requirement in the second stage. Bidders shall not include any new contract or technical deviation from requirement of the second stage bid. All things should be clarified in the first stage. The first stage bid on which the second stage bid is based, while not having to be resubmitted, remains an implied integral part of the second stage bid. The first stage bid on which the second bid is based will, while not having to be resubmitted, remains an implied integral part of that is also there. Only the changes will apply. Preparation of second stage bid form and price schedule, bid prices, bid currencies, bid security, period of validity, second stage bid, format, and all things are relevant. Sealing and marking of second stage bid, deadline for submission of second stage bid, late second stage bid, modification of withdrawal second stage bid, all should be given in instructions. ITB we give opening and evaluation of second stage bid, opening of second stage bid by purchaser, clarification of second stage bid, preliminary examination of second stage bid, conversion to single currency, evaluation and comparison of second stage bid, all are discussed in the ITB and bid data sheet, as you know. This one, I think we have discussed earlier, evaluation and comparison of evaluation and comparison of second stage bid. Purchasers' evaluation of responsive second stage bid will take into account technical factors in addition to the cost, right? How we take into account using a formula. An evaluated bid score B, I think I have given that earlier also, will be calculated for each responsive bid using the following formula, which permits a comprehensive assessment of the bid price and the technical merits. Comprehensive assessment of the bid price and the technical merits. This is the formula we discussed, I think, earlier also. B is C, any bidder's cost upon the lowest cost, right? X means the percentage of cost factor plus T highest bidder's thing, and the technical score taken by the considered bidder. 1 minus X, right? If X is 20% or whatever, this 1 minus 80%. That is X is percentage. Here, B, C's C evaluated price, this one. C lower, the lowest of the evaluated bid price among responsive bid, lowest bid. X, weightage for the price as specified in the bid data sheet. So don't forget, again, this is not consultancy. But since information system, it has consultancy component, normally it is 10 to 20%. But we must look at what World Bank say. We can give additional another 10% or maximum 30% for technical parts, something like that. And if 30% is given to technical, cost is 70%, right? T is 1 minus 30, right? So 1 minus 70. Technical parts is minor because this is goods anyway, not consultancy. The bid with the highest evaluated bid price score among responsive bids shall be termed the lowest evaluated bid, substantially responsive bid, whatever the word we use, and is eligible to the contract award, provided the bidder was pre-qualified or was found be qualified to perform the contract. Then means post qualification is also matter, right? How we give marks for technical, as we discussed in our evaluation presentations, the technical feature generally evaluate the performance capacity. Performance capacity one by one, right? Functional features, functionality features either exceed level specified as mandatory in the technical requirement and no influence the life cycle cost, right? All are considered when giving technical points. Usability features, there is another one, usability features such as ease of use, ease of administration, or ease of expansion, which influence the life cycle cost and effectiveness of the information system. The quality of the bidder's preliminary project, quality of the bidder's preliminary project plan. That is also a technical criteria for allocating marks. Opening and evaluation second stage, evaluation and comparison of second stage bid, domestic preference also considered when local and foreign bidders compete. Domestic contracting the purchaser. Post qualification, I said lowest bidders, finally, they considering the highest marks. We must consider post qualification points also. What are the points? Post qualification, award criteria, purchases right to vary quantities at time of award. Those are considered. Purchases right to accept any bid, oh, bid and to reject any or all bids. signing of contract, perform security, adjudicator, appoint an adjudicator also for dispute handling. I don't want to read out this. This is the bit format, bit form, right? All in standard format, right? You can just go to manufacturer's authorization is standard format again. Right. Now, these are the steps we should follow when we consider for purchasing of information systems. These are the some steps I mentioned, right? But we'll have to look at the document also. Look at the 2021 document, single stage bidding. Don't look at other things. So those are 20 use bits, everything is given. Single stage, everything is given in that World Bank document. Right. Same thing we discussed, the document, right? Now what I want is to go to bid data sheet and all. This is the invitation of bid notice. So you can follow this one. Footnote is also given. These are the things we discussed, all the things ITB. So I said when you use this one, go to the document and fill up the bid data sheet. Scope of bid and bidding process. The purchaser name in the bid data sheet and condition of contract. Clause 1.1 is duly authorized purchaser's agent. So specified in the bid, interchangeably refer to the purchaser in this bidding document. In my bid for the supply and installation of the inventory system, briefly described in bid data sheet. Briefly described. Okay, so we must fill up 1.1 and 1.2. The title of identifying number, you know that, how to put the contract number. Here, 1.4, bid data source provide alternative procedures forming part of all what is commonly known as a e-tendering. Right, e-tendering is not available yet, but very soon that will be relevant, right? At the moment, no. So this is source of fund not relevant to GUSL, but if you use World Bank at ADB, you can use borrow name ADB or World Bank. Corruption, other things are common things. Here, qualification of the bidder. By submission of documentary evidence in its bid, the bidder must establish to the purchaser's satisfaction that it has the financial, technical, and production capability, right, to perform the contract, meet the qualification criteria. We must specify in the bid data sheet. Specify in the bid data sheet. Look at 6.1a. And C, B says, in case of bidder offering supply key goods components of the document system as identified in the bid data sheet. So that is, we can list out. That bidders process of subcontractors, as we discussed earlier, for key services if and as advised. So we bidders should give what are the subcontractors for specific components. contain all things we discussed. Here, clarification of bidding document and pre-bid meeting. So please read up. 10.1. A prospective bidder requiring any clarification of the bidding documents may notify the purchaser in writing at the purchaser's address and by one of the means indicated in bid data sheet. We have given email or whatever. Similarly, if a bidder feels that any important provision in the document will be unacceptable, such an issue should be raised as soon as possible. The purchaser will respond in writing to any request for clarification or modification of the bidding document that it receives no later than 21 days. Here we have given 21 days. The World Bank, prior to the deadline. In our case, normally we use 10 days. So it is World Bank practice. For submission, it's prescribed by the purchaser. Copies of the purchaser's response, including an explanation of the query, but not identifying its source, right? Will be sent to all prospective bidders without giving reference to the source. That is the bidding document. Those are common things. When specifying the bid data sheet, the purchaser will organize and bidders are welcome to attend pre-bid meeting at the time and place indicated. The purpose of meeting will be clarify questions and matter that may be raised at this stage with particular attention to issue related to the technical requirements. Bidders are requested to submit any questions in writing to reach the purchasers later than 1 week before the meeting. Here again, 1 week, note down. Purchaser questions and answers will be transmitted according to ITB clause 10.1. Minutes of the meeting, including the questions and raised and response given, together with any response prepared after the meeting, will be transmitted without delay to all those that received the bidding documents from the purchaser. Any modification to the bidding document listed ITB 9.1, which may become necessary as a result of the pre-bid meeting, shall be made by the purchaser exclusively by issuing an addendum pursuant to this one. Close to 11 and not through a minute of the pre-bid meeting. Right? Addendum, not a minute. Addendum of bidding document is given a clause. Preparation of bids here. Language, the bid prepared by the bidder shall be correspondence and document shall be the exchange by the bidder and the purchaser written in language specified bid data sheet. So you must specify what language. I said in Sri Lanka, only English. So provides, okay. Here, what is this? Document comprising bid 13.3, 13.37. Any other document required in addition to this? Yeah, just look at. All discuss intellectual property, we discuss. System general purpose application, standard custom software, everything should be. All materials not identified in custom material shall be deemed standard material as defined, right? Those are general condition. So in addition to this standard ITB, so any documents we need, we must mention in the BDS. We'll see that. Bid price, it's 14.4 says, but the prices for good component of the system are to be expressed and shall be defined and governed in accordance with the rules prescribed in the edition of Incoterms. in the edition of Incoterms, specify in the, we discuss Incoterms, right? So what is the edition 2010 or 2001 or whatever the year should be mentioned. Goods supplied from outside the country, purchases country, right? World Bank has given some preferred Incoterms, right? Please look at this. Goods supplied from outside the purchaser's country. Unless otherwise specified in BDAs, otherwise the prices shall be quoted on a CIP, cost insurance paid, name, place of destination. You discussed that. What is CIP means. Exclusive of all taxes, exclusive of taxes, stamps, duties, levies, and fees imposed in purchaser's country. The name, place of destination, and specified instructions for the contract carriages are as specified in the BDS, right? In quoting the price, the bidder shall be free to use transportation through carriers registered in any eligible countries. Similarly, that means not CIF. In quoting the price, the bidder shall be free to use transportation to right. Bidder, not purchase. Sometimes we earlier used in Sri Lanka FOB, free on board, and we use our carriers. This is not the case. CIP. In quoting the price of bidders, free to use transportation through carriers registered by in any, again they always consider eligible countries. Similarly, the bidder may obtain insurance, right? It's a normal thing. Locally supplied goods, that is international. This is here local. Unit prices of goods offered from within the purchaser's country shall be quoted on X work or X factory, X works or X warehouse of the self, all as applicable basis, including all custom duties in case of goods, including including all custom duties, levies, fees, sales, and other taxes incurred until delivery of the goods, but excluding all VAT or sales and other taxes and duties, fees incurred, because these are locally supplied goods. No? When they supply goods, so equipment, computers, they are those are inputs, right? Their X work or X factory price is given, including all the taxes or whatever they have already paid, right? Here, without this, because we import, right? All VAT, sales, other taxes and duties, fees incurred for the goods at the time of invoicing or sales transaction if the contract is awarded, right? Inland transportation, right? So this S work, that is therefore is no factory price. Unless otherwise stated in BDS, inland transportation, insurance, and related local costs incidental to the delivery of goods to the designated project site, that means to deliver to our project, must be quoted separately as a service item, right? So their price should include all taxes, levies already paid without VAT and all, but include transportation to deliver to our office, right? According to ITB clause, whether the goods are to be supplied locally or from outside the purchaser's country, right? So they deliver goods locally manufactured goods or outside country, outside the purchase country, except when those costs are already included in the bid price of the goods. As example, the case when ITB 14.4 earlier, this one, 14.4, yeah, this one. right? I mean, carefully read, then you understand Indian transport, how we can consider. The price of service shall be quoted in total for each service where appropriate, broken down into unit prices, separated into their local and foreign currency components. Yes, prices must include all taxes, duties, levies, and fees whatsoever, except VAT, other indirect taxes or stamp duties that may be assessed or applied to the purchaser's country and the price of the services invoiced if the contract is awarded, unless otherwise right. Okay, so you can follow that. Unless otherwise specified, prices quoted with a fixed, no price formula normally. Bid currencies, unless otherwise specified in the bidder shall express its price for such information technologies, goods, blah, 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 for within purchases in the currency of the purchaser's country, right? Local goods in local currency. Documents shall be in the conformity of the information systems document. So, I mean, this is how you should learn about the information system documents. So this one, preliminary project plan describing, among other things, the methods by which the bidder will carry out its overall management and coordination if awarded. So that is given in bid data sheet 16.2 to C, this one. That is subject to evaluation. For purpose of all, for the commentary to the furnace pursuant to ITB 16.2, the bidder shall note that reference to brand names or model numbers or national or proprietary standards designated by the purchaser in its technical requirement are intended to be descriptive and not restrictive, except where explicitly prohibited in the BDS, right? Securing the bid. BDS for the clause specified whether the bid must be secured. If so, whether bid security declaration or bid security is required or optional, right? So World Bank always prefer declaration. But we also can use, once we use the new guideline and streamline our blacklisting procedure, as we discussed earlier. If a bid security is not required, okay, that is period of validity. Bid shall remain valid until the date, so we give the date, after the deadline date for bid submission prescribed by the purchaser. We should give a specific date, not 100. So copies, original, copy 1, copy 2, etc. to be labeled. Sealing and marking, the address to the given in the bid data sheet, right? Where the loan project number, we must give the number. Time and date to be completed with the time and date. Okay. What is this? The inner and outer envelope shall be addressed to the purchaser, okay, given in the BDS, and bear the loan project number, I mean contract number. We know the ID close to the annotation of bid, title and number, and the contract names as indicated in the BDS clause 1.2 statement. Do not open, right? That is price proposal to be marked as do not open, right? Bidder should label that. Deadline is given in this one. The bidder shall provide an original and the number of copies of specified withdrawal, submission, and modification under this one. Yeah. So the original should be made. Bid substitution, right? Bid the bidder shall provide an original and the number of copies we have mentioned earlier, or any substitution or modification to its bid, clearly identified as such as two inner envelope duly marked as bid substitution, original, bid substitution original, or bid modification original. That additional word is there. We normally say bid substitution or modification, but we say bid substitution original word. That's good. Bid substitution copies or bid modification copies, right? So when we have modification or substitution, so you must submit original and copies separately. So copies are not open, originals are open. Substitution, modification. The inner envelopes shall be sealed in an outer envelope which shall be duly marked bid substitution right. Right. It is in the inner envelope, not in the outer. Right. Okay. Bid opening and evaluation. Opening of bid. Purchase will open all bids, including withdrawal, blah, blah, blah. Public in presence of bidders, representatives who choose to attend at the time on the date and, okay, that is the opening. We'll see what are the things we open. As we said earlier, clarifications, preliminary examination, all are things given. Conversion to currency, you know that we learned, it's given in data sheet. Date, source, everything. Evaluation and comparison of bids, we'll see, look at this one. The purchaser will evaluate and compare the bids that have been determined to be substantially responsive pursuant to clause 26. The evaluation will be performed assuming that either that the contract will be awarded to the lowest available bidder for the entire information system, or if specified in BDS, contract will be awarded to the bidders for each individual subsystem, lot, or slice, right, defined in the technical requirement, whose bid results in the lowest combined evaluation price for the entire system. So whatever the relevant thing, you must consider. In the latter case, discount that are conditional on the award of more than one subsystem, lot or size may be offered in bids. However, such discount will only be considered in the price evaluation if so confirmed in the bids. To be considered for contract award, bidders must have submitted bids. Okay. 20. Indicated by BDS, the purchaser's evaluation of responsive bid will take into account technical factors. Earlier we discussed, and evaluation of bid score B, yeah, will be the same formula as we discussed. Everything is given. Wait for the price as specified in the BDS here. X is the weight for price weightage. We'll see what information we can see. My understanding is price is more percentage. Technical is less. We'll see anything related to the World Bank document. The technical features be evaluated are generally defined below. Okay, that is technical features. Features scores will be grouped into a small number of evaluation categories generally defined below and specified, right? The technical features, right? The technical features all are we discussed. Specified the BDS, each category will be given a weight, and within each category, each feature may also be given a weightage. Okay, we can give technical something, and under sub headings we can give sub categories. Here Right. We learned this one. Can you remember? During the evaluation process, the evaluation committee will assign each desirable preferred feature a whole number score from 0 to 4. Can you remember? Weighted rated method. World Bank rated method. I explain you how we give marks. This all formula we discuss. So you can look at this document and get more understanding. So this is each sector. The score for each feature, each component within a category J, you can read and understand, right? This is not very complex if you read carefully. With adjustment for, right, what I want to look at is deviation taken from the contract payment schedule. Okay, that is normal thing. The recurrent cost are reduced to net present. This is for life cycle costing, I think. Yeah. Say, this is also we discuss, right? The recurrent cost are reduced to net present value and determined using the following, because there are many years ahead, number of years of evaluated recurrent costs. The system may be next 5 years, 10 years, whatever. An index number 1, 2, 3 to n, any number. Our total recurrent cost, this one. X as recorded in the recurrent cost subtable, like this one. I is a discounting rate. I is a discount rate. Normally the 10% and 15% we apply, right? No margin of domestic minimum will apply, they say, in the World Bank document, but our thing is different. Post qualification, you see, all are interesting to look at. Purchasers' right to vary quantities and time of award. So we can change the time quantity. The purchaser reserves the right at the time of contract award to increase or decrease by the percentage indicated in the VDS. The quantities of substantially identified subsystems or the quantity of individual hardware, software, whatever, we reserve the right to increase or decrease. The percentage is given, normally 30% or something. Signing of contract, performance security, those are normal things. All right, so then we'll have to fill up as we discuss ITB, right? Look at that evaluation criteria. Experience criteria, all things are given. Qualification requirement of bids are World Bank as well. Experience criteria may be special as a during the past 4 years. Bidder must have completed 2 successful contracts involving the development. Whatever, we must give specific information. Some guidance are given here. There are reasons for the qualification. Okay, all are interesting. Manufacturers' authorization for information technology, except for those technologies which bidder itself manufactures, are required for the following types of categories. Specify, for example, none or all active, powerful equipment and all software. So whatever is relevantly, we must give which we need manufacturer authorization for the goods supplied by subcontractors. So all things you can read up. You see preparation of beats. Yeah, here 3 languages I said, English, French, and Spanish. We cut these 2 and keep English only. Okay, language. Following additional document. Additional document we mentioned, can you remember? What are the documents? They say additional document shall include the following. Code of conduct of suppliers personnel. There is one additional document. Code of conduct of suppliers personnel, they come and work in our office, no? The bidder shall submit its code of conduct that will apply to the supplier's personnel, their staff, employed in the execution of contract at the project site to ensure compliance with the supplier's environmental and social obligation under the contract as applicable. The bidder shall use for the purpose of code of conduct or everything. Another one, management strategies and implementation plan to manage the ES risk. Environmental and social risk, they say, yes. Whatever it is, those are additional documents. Those are quite new to us. Incoterms, here they have used 2000 as we discussed. ICC official rules for international trade terms published in September 1999. That is the one I discussed with you. This, but 2010 also they have increased, but World Bank, this document say 2000. This SBD does not support, this SBD does not support the use of delivered duty paid mentioned in para 6 of the appendix guideline. Please refer to the preface where this subject is discussed, because delivered duty paid is not applicable because they have to come and develop, no? Listen, this is not an end product you deliver to the project site. That is maybe the reason, right? All are interesting when you fill up. You can read. Performance, brand names case, right? Right. Bid validity, bid submission. This one, bid evaluation, that's what I am looking for. Time and date, okay. The date and bid opening should be same as specified, okay. The currency chosen for purpose of conversion, we can give. Exchange rate, okay, that is not a big thing. Subsystem lots, okay. You see, that is how much information we'll have to consider when we use information systems. It is not simple as we discussed earlier one. Those are simple compared to this one. The bid evaluation will take into account the technical fact. This is the one I wanted to contact you. ITB 28.4 here. So now we discuss of a formula, no? So how we consider technical merits, because definitely you must use this, because we cannot give a standard specification and say, as we normally does, responsive. All our responsive things are equal, no? Here, not the case. So we must give formula and technical evaluation factors, subcomponent, right? Technical factors in addition to the cost factor. Note, if technical factors will be taken into account, insert the following, otherwise omit, okay? The weightage price, X, multiplied by X in the evaluation and bid score formula, insert percentage. Note, the main criteria to determine this weight and by implication by weight of technical quality factor is evaluation is the degree of professional judgment, project management, and risk management skills required from the supplier's team. The larger and more critical these skills, that the more the procurement resembles or complex consulting services assigned, and higher should technical quality weight in the evaluation. Service component require lesser, more easily available and measurable skill should of course, be rated as a lesser quality weight. We'll see what is the percentage they have proposed. Any percentage they have proposed? Straight over procurement, okay. First, the total bid price estimate. Yeah, the total weight for technical bid score for a particular procurement package will be blend of suitable weightage of its majority component and typically is expressed not to exceed 50. That is the one actually I am looking for. Expected not to exceed technical 50%. So that is earlier we discussed 10 to 20%. Can you remember? Normal goods and works, if there is a technical merit, we can give marks, but maximum 20%. That's what I was searching for, what World Bank proposed. They say total weight to the technical bid score should not exceed 50%. That means you can allocate less than 50 for technical, then remaining mark for the price. Anybody agree? What do you think about this? This is very interesting point to me. Hello.
Yes, sir. This is ISC is very complex work. That's why I think it's.
Now, for complex works also, we cannot give 50%.
This information system is more complex.
Yeah. So that is interesting because we have not mentioned in our manual also, particularly about the marking percentage. We have mentioned about 10 to 20. But I think when we develop information system bidding document, we can incorporate this percentage, right? Otherwise, people will mislead. We cannot give more than 20% for information systems also, because common works and goods, that is okay, but here very important, right? Because their technical merit is very important. An approach to arriving at a blended figure is as follows. First, the total pre-bid price estimate E needs to be broken down into the price estimate E1 example, E1 complex service, E2 complex application package, EN hardware, something like that. All the things E1, EN, many things. Third, the total blended weightage for technical bid score for the entire procurement, say E1 into E simple one. Thereby determine the weightage for price in the formula 100 minus, you can understand, right? X is something. Y, once you define Y, right, over 100. Example, so please read out this area. Example, if the total procurement package or lot is estimated to cost of 5 million, package is lot $5 million equivalent and consists of complex service estimate something E1 is 2 million, complex software 1 million, etc. million, and actual weightage is given 60, E1 60, E2 60, right, something like that. You can calculate that. You can see 36, how they have calculated this. In the example, the weight for the technical bid score in the formula for the evaluated bid score would be 0.36. And for the price, it would be 6.4. Remaining is 6.4. Yeah, that is very interesting to me. Right, please, you do this calculation leisurely and arrive how these two figures are calculated. That is x and 1 minus x. Now, if the x is 36, 1 minus x is 64. That means 64% and 36%. So please do this. That's interesting to me. So how you have calculated this is interesting. You recalculate this and familiar with this calculation, right? This is the formula. This is how you have calculated Y. Right. Anyway, I think that is enough because for the evaluation, this is also part of that weightage, WJ. I know at least for your academic interest, go through these examples and see how you can calculate this one. I would like for you to read this carefully because those are not in our documents. That is called deviation for the payment, percentage payment schedule deviation, percent. We know that a rate of 0.5% per week, reasonable, however, right. Okay, those are difficult. Right. So those are attached resume of adjudicator. Cannot. This is section 3. Eligible countries, so not very important to us. Eligible country, not interesting. Eligible countries. Bank policy. The problem is how we have to develop a local document for that. If we use local funds, so we cannot use as it is the World Bank document. I mean, NPC should develop a customized document for this one. The problem is we don't have, we have to hire a consultants. Difficult. General condition also, you have to read accordingly. Go to special condition of contract wherever you have bold things and fill up. You'll see what we can discuss. Purchasers country, country name, okay. Here, contract period is the time period during which the contract governs the relation and obligation of the purchaser and supplier in relation to systems. Especially, so we have to give the contract period. Defect liability period, right? Like our works contract, also referred to as the warranty period, right? Means the period of validity of the warranties given by the supplier commencing at date of the operational acceptance certificate. Operational acceptance certificate of the system of systems during which the supplier is responsible for defects with respect to the system or relevant subsystem, whatever. The post-warranty service period means the number of years defined in the special condition, if any. Following the warranty period, following the expiration of the warranty period, post-warranty service. Now, normally warranty period is 12 months, so 18 months, no? The post-warranty after the warranty period, right? Following the expiration of the warranty period, during which the supplier may be obligated following the expiration of the warranty period, during which the supplier may be obligated to provide software license. Here, software license may be maintenance and or technical support. Those are important. Supplier may be obligated to provide software license, maintenance, and technical support service for the system after warranty, either under this contract or under separate contract. So normally we have a separate after sales service contract or in this contract, whatever. The contract period means the days of the weeks and the hours, those days during which maintenance, operational, and technical support, if any, must be available. Coverage period. Okay, contract language is okay. Singular, plural, headings, persons, Incoterms, entire agreement. The contract constitutes the entire agreement between the purchaser and supplier with respect to subject matter of contract and supersede all. Okay. Independent supplier, joint venture. Look at joint venture, independent supplier, we can understand. Joint venture, if the supply is a joint venture of two or more firms, all such firms shall be jointly. All such firms shall be jointly and severally bound to the purchaser for the fulfillment of the provision of contract and shall designate one such firm as act leader with the authority of the joint venture. So, lead partner. The composition of constitution of the joint venture shall not be altered without the prior consent of the purchaser. Okay, that is important. Non-waiver, country of origin, notices, governing law. The contract shall be governed, interpreted in accordance with the laws of the country. Laws of the country. So laws of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. Adjudication. If any dispute, any kind whatsoever shall arise between the purchaser and supplier, we have to identify the adjudicator, right, at the beginning of the contract. So that is a good thing. Otherwise, we have to go for arbitration, the failing the amicable settlements. If any dispute of kind of whatsoever shall arise between the purchaser and supplier in connection with the arising out of the contract, including without prejudice the generality of the foregoing, any question regarding its existence, whatever, its acceptance, mutual breach of the contract, what is self-solve any dispute. If the parties fail to resolve, such dispute by mutual consultation within 14 days, then what will happen? If amicably we can't settle, after one party has noticed the other party in writing the dispute, then the contract agreement in Appendix C includes means and adjudicator, names and single adjudicator here. Adjudicate either party. The dispute shall within another 14 days be referred in writing by either party to the adjudicator with a copy to the other party. If there is no adjudicator specified in the contract agreement, the mutual consultation period above shall 28 days. Then both can agree instead of 14, 28 days upon expiry of this either party may move to the notification of arbitration, right? So then go to notification of arbitration if adjudication is not given, right? The adjudicator shall give his or her decision in writing to both parties adjudicator will give within 28 days of the dispute being referred to the adjudicator. That is his duty. If the adjudicator has done so and so no notice of intention to commence arbitration, no intention to commence arbitration has been given by either the purchaser or supplier within 56 days. again, such reference, the decision shall become final. The decision become, adjudicator's decision become final and binding upon purchaser and the supplier. Any decision that has become final and binding shall be by the parties forthwith. The adjudicator shall be paid an hourly base fee at the rate specified in the contract agreement, plus reasonable expenditures incurred in the execution of the duties as adjudicator, and these costs shall be divided. Costs shall be divided equally between the purchaser and the supplier. Hourly rate plus anything that is given in the conditions. Should the adjudicator resign or die, or should purchaser and supplier agrees that the adjudicator is not fulfilling the function according with the provision in the contract, new adjudicator shall be jointly appointed by the purchaser and the supplier. Failing agreement between two within 28 days, the new adjudicator shall be appointed as, okay, what? That is the arbitration, right? The purchaser or supplier is dissatisfied. If they are dissatisfied with the adjudicator's decision, they can go for arbitration, right? Either party can, right? The adjudicator fails to give the decision within that period. In the absence of adjudicator from the contract agreement, the mutual consultant pursuant to, right, all are relevant to go to the arbitration, right? That is also interesting. But in our document, do we have that provision in the CEDA document, education?
Yes, sir. Yes.
All documents or major contracts? I can't remember.
I think the intermediate contracts, there is a provision.
Adjudicator is appointed, right?
Yes, as I
Okay.
remember.
Okay, we'll see. Right. So, but in our document, no adjudicator facility, no? In other goods contract, I don't think we have. That is a lapse actually. It is a good suggestion, otherwise delay decisions. Right, I think those are normal things. This is a complex document anyway, right? You can understand. If you want to procure information systems, one thing is we don't have a local document at the moment, and we have to use World Bank document and convert to the local situations. It is not easy, but anyway, we'll try in the future to develop a separate. We have identified that requirement in our action plan also. I think there are a lot of things. I don't want to discuss everything. Right. I think people have already gone, I think. No, one person has chat. But dear learners, right. Right, that you have to fill up the form, right, okay. Right. I have given some other documents also for you to just study. What are the documents I have given? Two single stage document also given. Okay. Anyway, you can look at the other document, single stage, old document and new document, I think, yes. I think with this, we can conclude this complex bidding document. I say it is quite complex, compared to the document we have discussed earlier. Because the supplier and the bidder or the purchaser has to fill up and take account of various information. Especially, these are not straightforward procurements. We have to consider a lot of technical aspects and to develop user-friendly or required performance or functional requirement of invoice system. I think we have to work quite hard in order to meet these requirements. So this is only a guidance for you to go through. One thing is, if you do practically, you'll have to very strictly follow these type of things. Second thing is academically to study your influence systems and also how we evaluate it. Influence systems under different stages is reflected from these documents, right? With this, I conclude this discussion, and I will leave, as you know, the country day after, and we will come back only 22nd or 23rd, and we will have our review sessions 29, 28, 29, and 30th. Probably we can take up the principles first, the planning, and finally go to decision making. So we hope to discuss all the presentations given by other presenters also, and I will go through other presentation and try to answer your questions. But anyway, the presentations we discuss and possible questions you can guess using this complete module, right? And you are any concerns, we can discuss on 28th, 29th, and 30th. Naduni, are you there? Hello? Naduni, can you hear me? I think she is not there. Anyway, shall we wind up then?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good night.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night, sir.
So sorry for late night. I think it is almost 11 because of my fault. I mean, my technical fault. You had to sacrifice your sleeping time. Anyway, good night, everybody.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good night, sir.
Good night.